All right. Thanks so much for your patience with our programming here. We are here with our second African Heritage Month program with the Halifax Jazz Festival. We're so delighted to be here. I'd like to begin by acknowledging that we're in Mi'kma'ki, the unceded territory and ancestral homeland of the Mi'kmaq Nation. We acknowledge the treaties of peace and friendship, and we all need to take meaningful steps in reconciliation and continued efforts of a strong nation-to-nation relationship. We recognize that we need to respect Indigenous sovereignty and the rights to land we occupy. And there's lots of things going on outside in the world, but I think we also need to look inwards what's going on in our own homelands as well. We want to give a big shout out to our title sponsor, TD Bank Group, who are also sponsors of all of the wonderful African Heritage Month activities at the Halifax Public Libraries. We also are coming to you live from Halifax North Library, and we got to give a big shout out to Halifax Public Libraries for hosting us here. We'd also like to thank the Department of Communities, Culture, Tourism and Heritage, the Province of Nova Scotia, the City of Halifax, Arts Nova Scotia, the Craig Foundation, J.W. Murphy Foundation, and for all of their support with our ongoing activities. We're coming to you live from Halifax North Library here in North End, Halifax. We chose this location to do our African Heritage Month programming, as this is in the heart of a historically Black community here in North End, and I feel it's important to recognize these spaces, and especially in a changing North End, we need to support and protect places that are open hubs for the Black community here in Halifax. I'd also like to say, be sure to mark on your calendar the Halifax Jazz Festival. The TD Halifax Jazz Festival is coming to you July 12th to 17th. We got lots of great, exciting announcements about what's going to be happening during that time, so be sure to follow us on social media and as well subscribe to our newsletter. You can find everything at halifaxjazzfestival.ca. Okay, I don't want to keep you waiting anymore as we're here to get down to some business. We are here with Ibiko Pelle, who's going to be doing a great presentation. We're going to be chatting. And let me tell you a little bit about Ibiko. Born and raised in beautiful Caribbean island of Antigua and Barbuda, Ibiko is a devoted representative of the music industry in his country. He's a dedicated and talented musician who got his start in one of the world's oldest steel orchestras, the Hell's Gate Steel Orchestra, with which he is affiliated. Passionate and humorous, he's a young drummer that genuinely understands the meaning of true musicianship. His inspirations are drawn from many musical acts of Calypso, Soca, and Reggae, which we're going to be talking about today. But after moving to Halifax for university, Ibiko started as drummer for Andru Branch and Halfway Tree. Andru Branch in the building here, shout out. And they began drumming with the band, and he's featured in the band's latest album, Weather the Storm. Check it out, and I think we'll be hearing a little bit of that today. He's traveled throughout Nova Scotia playing various events. And throughout all Ibiko's accomplishments, his genuine love for drumming and music remains strong. I'm so happy to be here. Ibiko, how you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. Hello, internet land or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. We have people tuning in. I know I think there's lots of your friends and family tuned in.
For sure. All my friends from back in Antigua and even here in Halifax as well. Welcome everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in.
So our theme today, we were talking about various Caribbean drumming styles and percussion styles. I know it's a big topic, and we only got 45 minutes or so. But I know you have some specific styles that we're sort of going to be talking a bit about. So I'll let you sort of roll things off here.
Definitely. I'm just going to play around with a few tracks here. The first track I'm going to go with from an Antiguan artist, King Shortshirt, McLean Emmanuel, King Shortshirt. One of his favorite tracks is called Juve Rhythm, and accompanying me with this track is my good friend, my mentor, everything, Mr. Gavin Francis. He played along. You'll hear some steel drums in it as well, so you'll get familiar with that sound, and that really lends itself to this particular genre of music, Calypso, as well. So they both go hand in hand, the genre and the instrument, steel pan. So I'm just going to take it away, play a few tracks, and we're just going to have some fun today.
Right on.
Awesome. So that was King Shortshirt's Juve Rhythm, once again played, accompanied by Gavin Francis. Um, so with that groove, we would call that Calypso, or in other words, in Antigua, we would call that Bena. And Calypso is so interesting in that it's not just from, I wouldn't say it's specifically from one region, one country in the Caribbean, although it was formed, it was created in Trinidad and Tobago. That's where Calypso and Soca, some of these genres come from. But we have like other subgenres hailing from other countries. So it's basically like everybody have this one, every Caribbean country has this one idea, but their creativity impacted their particular, their particular aspect of creating their own sound, essentially. So every island is responsible for different subgenres of calypso music that they created specifically for their sound. And so this song was specifically created for the Antiguan environment, based on the Antiguan culture, based on the social context. It's all about partying and having a good time. It's like it says, Juve Rhythm. So Juve Rhythm essentially is the celebration that happens during the carnival season, where all the community members, everyone who just take to the streets just to party and have a good time in the streets there.
Is that coming up?
It Trinidad is celebrating their somewhat of a carnival. For the pandemic, it's a bit difficult to do what we regularly do. But definitely, Antiguan Carnival is coming up in July, from the end of July to like early August. But what we've seen so far is from this particular groove, this particular style. It started out from basically just 1-2 on the bass drum. It just started from that, talking about social commentary, what was taking place in the community, and then it created this aspect of what we progressed into partying. We know Caribbean people, we love to have a good time, we love partying. That's just our nature. It's all about feeling good, but not forgetting the social atmosphere of what's taking place in the region. So this is just one of the styles that we're going to look at today and hopefully break down. I know that there are lots of other genres and styles of different Caribbean countries, but the focus we're going to look at today is Calypso, Soca, and Reggae. I find those are the most popular that everybody would know about, especially in the mainstream media. Reggae for sure, Calypso definitely. So essentially, Calypso is basically an African Caribbean music genre. So it began in the nation of Trinidad and Tobago. Like I said before, props to all of my Trini drummers and my Trini musicians. So that creation spread throughout the rest of the Caribbean, and like I said, everybody created their own style and their own creative aspect of what necessarily means to create music in a way. But Calypso, known as Calypso, basically an upbeat genre. Based on a call and response singing, we would have a lot of the musical aspects of it determined by like the horn lines or the guitars, the strumming, the bass line. So unlike reggae, it is more high energy for the musicians, I would say, in terms of what they would do. As you can see, I was pretty busy on the drums, and playing in a reggae band, it's very different. The drummer is more in the pocket, but with Calypso now, it's very dynamic, right? So every aspect is based on the expressions of the music and expressions of the people. I love Calypso so much. It's very, very fun to play.
It almost seems like, to me, there seems a lot of a relation to like something like high life, like African high life music, in the spirit of it, especially.
Exactly. It all goes back to our ancestors and the rhythmic patterns, the music itself, how that translated to mainstream and how it translated to where we are today. But a lot of Calypso a lot of calypso depends upon the lyrics and the melody. That's what I would say carries the music, because, for example, back in the late 60s and 70s, it was more heavily conscious on the social commentary of what was taking place in these different countries across the region. So we would have Calypsonians is what we would call them, the artists that sing calypso music. Calypsonians would talk about what's the political atmosphere, what's going on. And that really translated into what we know today as soca music. So you could say soca music is like the younger son or daughter of calypso, because it really translated from, let's just say calypso's for the old people. I don't want to say that because I love calypso, but calypso's for the old people and soca's for the young people. Sorry, Andrew.
Why you look
But you can really see how much the music has evolved, I would say, in terms of the youthfulness from soca into from calypso, into soca. And so soca is known as the soul of calypso, really and truly. So it merged from calypso, and I'm just gonna demonstrate what calypso started and how it emerged into soca, and then how it emerged into this mainstream, this youthful musical creativeness of what we know as soca today. So I'm just going to play another track here. I'm sure this one is very, very popular. I'm sure you've heard of it. I'm sure everybody here has heard of it. Everybody across the land have heard of it. This is from legendary soca calypso artist known as Arrow, hailing from the island of Montserrat. I also have my good friend Gavin here as well, accompanying me in this one as well. So I'm just going to take it away with this one, and then we're just going to talk about, just break down those two differences or similarities between calypso and soca, just to see, you know, how it has evolved into something youthful. So Juve rhythm, just to plan it out, Juve rhythm was the backbone, the first thing, just sticks and kick drum, just going at it, and then we can see how it evolved throughout time. Awesome. So that was Hot 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 by legendary soca artist Calypsonian Arrow. And you can hear the differences from what I was playing before with Juve rhythm and now to what we call soca, and how the groove itself has changed from just this, sorry, this, from that to then like a syncopated back and forth between the hi-hat and the bass drum and the snare drum. And you can feel the difference in that it's all about partying, right? You can see the difference in terms of it being a bit up tempo, whereas the other one, our early calypsos, it would be a lot more slower paced, where because with that you really want to get the message across. And so with soca now, as you can see, the difference is it's about partying. So you can see the difference where it's a message, and then you can see it's time to party, kick on your dancing shoes, let's go have some fun. And then from that, we have different soca artists across the regions. For example, a popular one here, Marshall Montano. I'm not sure if you know of that. We also have T and Winter from Antigua, Claudette Peters, quite a few artists as well across the region who've really helped in the development of soca music. Not to forget our Calypsonians as well, who have really helped in developing the art form. So we have Lord Kitchener from Trinidad and Tobago, we have King Shortshirt from Antigua, and quite a few across the region. As we can see, yes, it was created in Trinidad and Tobago, but it's spread throughout the rest of the region, spread throughout the rest of the rest of the West Indies, to give you this creative musical I guess whatever you want to call it.
Yeah. And so you would find, like with soca, you were mentioning with calypso, like there's like a lot of regional variation that comes along with it as well.
So like like even with the development further, we have from Dominica, we have the booyah. That's even more up tempo in terms of partying, and it really strayed from, well, I wouldn't say strayed, but it really evolved from this calypso pattern into something totally different. And that's because of the particular culture in that country, Dominica, where you find they just love partying. I mean, I don't know how much I can say it, but we're pretty cool and pretty fun in the Caribbean. So you have these different subgenres breaking away from this particular groove, this particular style called calypso. And the development throughout the years has really changed the music for the better. But we're not forgetting our, like you said, it's all going back to our history in Black History Month. So it all ties back to our past, hailing from Africa, moving to the Caribbean. It all stems from that, the rhythmic patterns. As you can even take the same particular rhythm and apply it to the djembe drum from Africa, and you can apply it to different rhythmic instruments, percussive instruments, hailing from Africa. So it's really, I would say, it's really the backbone of soca music, calypso. It's the backbone. It's what we stand on, because for us in the Caribbean, it's what we created, right? So it's something that we hold on to dearly. That's why we try to, spread it as far as wide, try to influence as much. And you can even hear calypso and soca in different genres. For example, R&B. Now you hear it in rap. These percussive elements of calypso.
I was gonna say that, like, I definitely hear that in a lot, especially like maybe since like the 2010s, like there was like a time where like the specific like soca rhythms really exploded into a lot of mainstream hits. That's really
the tropical vibe, you call it.
Yeah,
you
exactly.
hear it in Drake, One Dance, and a couple of Justin Bieber songs. So you really hear those influences from the Caribbean being inputted into these other subgenres.
Hopefully the respect is getting paid to the
for
creators.
sure, definitely. And then I'm just gonna take it up a notch. So just to give you an example of how, like, the increase in tempo, demonstrating the differences between all of these styles and their particular environment. So let's just do some homework here. Calypso, based on social commentary, but still a little of the party vibe in that. And then you have from Calypso, Soca music, which is still also about the partying vibes and just having a good time. And then that takes it up a notch to what we know today as Soca. So I'm just going to play a short short track from, this is from T and Winter, it's called Raven, one of his Soca songs from 2014, I think. So we're just going to slash through that just to demonstrate.
I should also mention, if there's anyone listening or watching that has questions for Ibiko, I'm not just scrolling through Facebook here. I'm monitoring for comments. So if anyone has any questions, feel free to ask, and we can get some answers.
Yeah. So I'm just going to demonstrate how much this can increase in tempo, like soca music, how it can increase. It's all about upbeat music. And with this particular track, I chose it specifically because it lends itself to the variations from different islands. So you'll hear a little bit of the booyah rhythm from Dominica in it as being incorporated as well. And a lot of the Antiguan soca as well, hailing the Burning Flames as one of the pioneers of creating a particular Antiguan sound of soca music. So here it is, T and Winter's Raving. Let's hope I don't mess this up. It's really fast. The tempo is hailing from what, 162? Yeah, so some real speedy vibes.
And get on bad. I say we party harder, but this year we got party mad. Signal and show me where you're from, just represent your flag. We raving, kicking up our slam and taking Trinidad. I say we raving, come back and keep raving. It's so bad that we raving, just keep
So that was just a short track there from T and Winter. So you can hear the differences again, how the tempo just drastically increase. It comes back to kind of rock vibes, how it's like really, really high energy, really up tempo, that sort of vibe there from this track here. And we see that it's really creative in that it lends itself, like I said, to the Dominican elements, the creative elements of Antigua. So with that particular rhythm, in Antigua, we have the rhythm box. We can blame Burning Flames for this one, but it's really creative in what they have done with the music throughout the years and how they've influenced soca music in Antigua, particularly because, like I said, their style is not one that you can hear in Trinidad or in Dominica. It's very, very specific to Antigua and to the Antiguan context. And you can hear this style particularly in different Antiguan artists as well. So it's really evolved into something youthful. We have Lyrics Man and the LSA band. They have really changed how this style is being played and put forward in Antigua. So that style is very simple. Let me just run the track here.
I'm very curious to know what the company like dance styles that would go with it.
Oh,
such a high energy.
It's pretty interesting, some of the stuff you'll see, but it's all about bumping and grinding, if you know what I mean. Goes back. I'm just going to demonstrate just a quick example of the Antiguan style of soca music here, okay?
I love to see my people how they whine and get on bad. I say we party harder, but this year we got party mad. Signal and show me where you're from, just represent your flag. We raving, kicking up our slam and taking Trinidad. I say we raving, come back and keep raving. It's soca that we craving, just keep the fire blazing. We blazing, we raving, come back and keep raving. It's soca that we craving, just keep the fire blazing. We blazing.
So with that, you can see it's clearly different to what I played before with the same track, right? So you can see that particular style, known as Bena or basically Antigua and Soca, strictly burning flames. That's what I would call it, just burning flames rhythm or iron band rhythm, you know. So you can see the differences between that one and what I've played before in terms of the different elements that are drawing from the booyah rhythm or even from Trinidad and Tobago. So as we see with Caribbean music, it all combines, it all gels together in one, you know. So we take aspects from different countries, you know, in particularly to create new sounds or new elements, or just to be creative across the board. So it's all about creativity and how best we can keep our culture alive and keep spreading our style or music, you know.
I can imagine, like, I mean, pre-pandemic, like if you're a working musician in that region, I imagine there would be so much like travel between islands and like sharing of cultural information.
For sure.
So
And because we kind of celebrate Carnival, like it's throughout the year for the region itself, because Trinidad would have their Carnival, let's say at the start of the year in around January, February style, and then each island would be like, so if you really take time and you want to experience the Caribbean environment, the Caribbean culture, I would say like plan like a year-long trip to just visit different islands to really hear the uniqueness and creativity in terms of their music and their celebration of culture and stuff like that. So get a little porch there. And then from that, from those two genres, we go to something a bit more laid back, a bit more heavily conscious, more social commentary again, but really talks about the social climate, the political climate. And this type of style is hailing from the beautiful island of Jamaica. Big up to all my Jamaican friends, them. And this style is known as reggae, pretty popular. We've heard this many times from the greats like Bob Marley, Burning Spears, Steel Pulse, Gregory Isaac. I could go down the chain with all the names there. So this its development closely follows ska, which was basically the Jamaicans try to copy, or I would say they try to play jazz and blues, but I don't want to say this in a very wrong way, but they kind of tried to play jazz and blues and got it wrong, but they created something for themselves, right? So we see that in their style of music and in their style of playing. So we started from ska, which is basically just like jazz and blues. From that to a one-drop rhythm, and into dancehall, into what the youthfulness of that music has created, right? So, like I said, it all goes back to our African heritage and what it symbolizes in terms of culture and expression. It's all about, Caribbean music is all about expression and how we express ourselves through music and through culture, because it all ties in together. Culture, music, everything for us ties in together. So with reggae, you can base it from traditional folk from the Rastafarian culture into a sort of modern twist on our interpretation of jazz and blues, or rock per se, So I'm just gonna demonstrate what reggae would sound like, or what the reggae style is in terms. Yep, just to demonstrate what reggae is. Let me just pull up this track here. Yep, as this is loading up here. Do we have any questions coming in or anything,
we got lots of comments. No
Nice.
specific questions here.
That's good. If you have any questions, feel free to if you need me to break down some of these grooves, happy to do so. So particularly with reggae, we have two different styles in my understanding, my interpretation, two different styles. You have a swing style and you have a straight feel. That's just it's as simple as that. But the most important thing is understanding your placement within the music, because as you can find, compared to soca music, the drummer isn't so busy. It's all about the feeling. Reggae is about feeling. You have to be able to feel the music when you're playing. The bass and the drums, they're locked, they're interconnected into one another. So it's really about the tightness and the feeling of the music. So we have the swing feel and we have the straight feel. So the swing feel would just be like, you have a mixture of styles. Every artist creates their own variation of their particular style. But the most popular one I can think of is the Carlton Barrett swing and straight feel from he's the drummer for Bob Marley and the Wailers. So just that feel to, so you can see the differences in terms of their variations and their styles of interpreting the music. So I'm just gonna pull up one of my favorite reggae songs that I've gotten the opportunity to play, thanks to my good friend Andru Branch here and Halfway Tree. This one is off of his latest album. It's called Nagobao, and in this particular pattern, he uses, or I would say I use, because I'm the one that played on it. But lending to get an inspiration from these older drummers, listening to a lot of reggae music. My influence, you can hear the triplet patterns coming through in that particular song here. So this one is Nagobao from Andru Branch.
Until life started getting me down. They thought that I would play by the rules, but they didn't know that I've been around. Well, you might think that I can't live without you, and you might think that I don't understand, and you might think that I can't live without you, and you might think that I need a helping hand. I didn't think that they would be so cruel. They only built me up to knock me down. They must have thought that I would play the fool, but I'm not one to clown around. Well, you might think that I can't do without you, but you can't see that I'm backed by the band. And you must think that I can't go on without you, but you don't know that it's time to take a stand. Say we now go bow. Say we now go bow. Say we now go bow to the Babylon system. I used to think that you were pretty cool. I thought you had my back, but you let me down. You must have thought that you had me fooled with that plastic smile, now drastic frown. Well, you must think that I can't go on without you, and you might think that I don't have a clue. But like a sheep in wolf's clothing from this privileged place. I have a bird's eye view. Say we nah go bow. No, we nah go bow. Hear me now start. Say we nah go bow to the Babylon system. Say we nah go bow. No, we nah go bow. Say we nah go bow. Whoa, whoa, whoa. To the Babylon system. Hear me now start. Say we nah go bow. No, we nah go bow. No, we nah go bow. Whoa, whoa, whoa. To the Babylon system. No, we nah go bow. No, we nah go bow. Ooh, ooh. No, we nah go bow to the Babylon system.
That groove have like a specific? I know you mentioned like under like the reggae umbrella. Is there like a specific like groove type you would like to call that?
I would say it's a fusion between ska and a one drop. Just because of the particular hi-hat pattern. I haven't heard this particular hi-hat pattern in any other reggae songs that I've listened to. I'm not sure if it's out there or if someone else has played it, but me personally, I haven't heard this just because of the openness of how the hi-hat continuously goes in and out. Usually, you would have a dynamic between the hi-hat where it comes in and out, but not as frequent as how it is in this particular song here. So I would say this is pretty unique to Andru Branch and Halfway Tree. So kudos. Can hear. But yeah, like I said, this particular style more is like a swing pattern, and you can hear the swing pattern in various Bob Marley tunes. One, for example, which there's so many, can't remember right now, but you hear the swing pattern in different various reggae songs across the board, and then from that one drop pattern, which is just basically 8 or 16 notes on the hi-hat, depending on your variation, right? Because you can have, like I said, swing, or you can have a straight feel. So it all depends on the music itself and how you would apply that particular style to the music. Because you don't want to play something that feels out of place, right? So you have to, the bass drum and the drum set, the bass guitarist and the drummer has to really lock in what they're doing. And it all comes down to this hi-hat pattern. So they're vast hi-hat patterns. People come up with their own hi-hat patterns, but it all comes down to how it fits within the music. Because one particular with the one drop, the only thing that remains constant is this fusion between the cross stick from the snare and the bass drum. That comes in on the 3, right?
Yeah.
So
Can you mind just playing that pattern? That pattern?
So just. I would say that's a straight feel right there, in terms of the locking between the bass drum and the snare cross stick here. And so with your hi-hat patterns, that can depend on your style, right? So example, the song here, Nagabao, swing style. Andru Branch has other songs with particular hi-hat patterns that vary in terms of the style of swing and straight feel. And then from this one drop pattern, we have what is called steppers. Steppers now is where you would see a change. The only change I would say in reggae would be changing the bass drum. So you're going 4 on the floor now. So instead of the locking between the cross stick and the bass drum, now you have a straight 4 pattern going on in the bass drum. So it goes, and then with that, you can also apply a straight feel from your hi-hat pattern or a swing feel. So a straight, you can, kudos to Burning Spears and Steel Pulse for really, really honing that straight feel in terms of how you can see the differentiation between the straight and the swing feel. They really do that in a lot of their music. So we have the swing feel with the steppers. You can hear the pattern, the hi-hat pattern is different.
Yeah.
Still maintaining that kind of triplet feel where with the 8 notes going constantly, right? And then with that same cross stick and 4 on the floor bass drum, you have a straight feel with the hi-hat as well. So it's more, the hi-hat is going more straight, right? So it all comes back to the upbeat and the downbeat. So with the swing feel, it's more, the accent is more on the upbeat. So it goes back to like what I said before with the jazz and blues for you.
Yeah, exactly.
You can feel that elements throughout for the swing feel, and then translating that into now a straight feel where you get more. It's stiff. You have to be locked in. In terms of playing reggae music, you have to be locked in. You have to be able to feel the music when you're playing. So just a quick example. So we have the swing feel. And with the straight feel now, like the accents on the downbeat rather than the upbeat, right? And like I said, all comes down to creativity and the elements that you can draw from yourself within your music. If you want a particular hi-hat pattern, I would say reggae is all about the consciousness, but yet still the feel-good element, and understanding the culture from where it came from, to be able to give a definite example of what you can do with reggae music in terms of, like having a good reggae sound.
Yeah.
You want bands to be locked in. You want bands to have that element of the true roots sound, and it all goes back to our ancestors. Not sad to say, but it all goes back to our ancestors and their dynamics, their creativity, their uniqueness in formulating something so creative, So those are just the most popular styles, I could say, hailing from the Caribbean.
Yeah, we did have a question related to that from Cleo Antoinette.
Sure.
Asking, of the 3, reggae, soca, and calypso, which would you say is your favorite to play?
That's a hard question. Over the years, I've played so much. I've played soca and calypso so much that for me it's a part of me now. I haven't played reggae as much as I played soca and calypso, but since I've been here in Halifax, just imagine that I came from the Caribbean to come to Halifax to play reggae music. But
did you know there was reggae in Halifax?
Exactly, but really and truly being a part of the Halfway Tree branch, thanks to Andrew so much. I don't know, we met in a very strange way, but it really created something very special in terms of my creativity and my development within just learning true reggae forms and true reggae styles. So my favorite, just to answer your question, Antoinette. Hi, Antoinette. It's a very good friend of mine. My favorite style would be all 3.
That's a diplomatic approach. Great. Well, do you have anything else to add before we wrap up?
I just yep, yeah, just to thank everyone for tuning in and really thank the people who helped me put this together. Gavin Francis, Javier, Jarvis, Robert Simmons, and all the people who have really helped in my development as a musician, as a drummer. This is actually my first workshop, so congratulations.
Amazing.
So it was very fun just preparing for this. And as well, just to go back to the musical elements of this, like in terms of learning these styles, I would say get on a plane, go to the Caribbean, pick any island you want. You'll hear the uniqueness, the creativity from these islands. They have a lot to offer, especially with in terms of music. They have a lot to offer. And if you get a chance, listen to some steel drum music as well. Very, very fun stuff. But breaking these down, if you want to, just really tap into the musical elements, I would say listen to a lot of Caribbean music. I know it might be a bit challenging because of how the music has evolved over time, but if you can go back to maybe like the 70s, 80s and really hear what it came from, then you can have an understanding of why it's evolved so much throughout time. And it's really good to see the youthfulness within music, because the creativity, evolution, it's only going to get better.
Mm-hmm.
So if you don't have any more questions, we can just jam out for a bit.
Great.
That'd be fun.
I'll just say thank you so much to everyone that tuned in. Thanks Halifax Public Libraries for having us here. Thanks to the team from Rockbound for providing all of our technical solutions here. We got Ben, we got Sean on video and sound here.
Thank you,
doing
guys.
Great stuff. And if you want to just follow us at Halifax Jazz Festival, you can follow us on social media. Stay tuned. Again, the festival's coming back this summer, July 12th to 17th. And so that'll be great. And so if you want to end off anything, feel free.
Yeah, just go listen to some reggae and calypso music, put on your dancing shoes in your house, and have some fun.
Right on. All
All
right.
So yeah, we can. I'm gonna invite you to play along to the same track here. You can join me and we can just jam out for a bit, Andrew.
Okay, let's do it. If you want to get rolling, I'll just start playing.
I used to think that I was pretty cool until life started getting me down. They thought that I was by the moon, but they didn't know that I've been around. Well, you might think that I can't live without you, and you might think that I don't understand. And you might think that I can't live without you. And you might think that I need a helping hand. I didn't think that they would be so cruel. They only built me up to knock me down. They must have thought that I would play the fool. But I'm not one to clown around. You might think that I can't do without you, but you can't see that I'm backed by the band. You must think that I can't go on without you, but you don't know that it's time to take a stand. Say we now go bow. Say we now go bow. back, but you let me down. Must have thought that you had me fooled. With that plastic smile, now Jurassic frown. Well, you must think that I can't go on without you. And you might think that I don't have a clue. But like a sheep in wolf's clothing from this privileged place, say we now go bow. We now go bow. Hear me now start. Say we now go bow. Babylon system. Say we now go bow. We now go bow. Say we now go bow. To the Babylon system. Hear me now start. Say we now go bow. We now go bow. We now go bow. To the Babylon system. We now go bow. No, we now go bow. No, we now go bow. To the Babylon system.
All right, thanks everyone.